Hello and welcome to the creative process, ARS 105.3, the summer session. My name is Anthony DePaula and I'm going to be the instructor for this class over the next 6 weeks. And it's a very intense 6 weeks. We squish it all together. I'm going to run through that syllabus and let you know what is expected for this class and the basic requirements of the timeline. Very, very briefly stated, 25% of your final grade is participation, which is evaluated through discussions, the discussions section of Brightspace. They average about 1 per lecture, and there's also 5 drawings that are also submitted through discussions. Those are listed at the bottom of the scroll of discussions. Make sure that you find those in the first week. This is an ARS class, so there is some drawing required. You're not graded based on skill. It's very much just understanding of what the main topic is and how those drawings relate to the lectures that were covered in that same week. There's about 1 quiz per week, so for 5 weeks on materials covered during the lectures of that week. They're about 15% of your final grade. Probably the most significant part of your grade are the 2 assignments. Each is about 30% of your grade, and they will be submitted as YouTube videos with a script, so with a text that's submitted through Brightspace assignments. The first assignment is an exhibition review where you will physically go to a gallery, videotape what you see, entering into the space, walking around the space, what is your impression of the space and the artwork, and you'll make a video of that. You make sure that you're also on the video because your presence in that physical space is part of the assignment, part of the grade. The second presentation is going to be an artist lens, and that's when you will select a specific lens of some sort of social issue that interests you. There's a list of them on the form that you have to fill out. You pick one area, and that lens will help me decide what artist to assign you. So the final presentation, the second presentation, is going to be this artist lens that is an artist who is assigned to you. That's all going to be available to you to view when they're assigned and approved on Brightspace announcements. As I said, both assignments need to be approved, and that's done through a Google form that's on Brightspace announcements. And that is the first big thing that you need to do, is submit that before the end of this first week, by June 1st. That's going to get the ball rolling. Then you'll have some lectures and a couple of discussions and some quizzes to get started in the first week. The basic schedule is set up that each week is from Monday through Sunday. All of the lectures and quizzes and discussions for that week are available to you, and then it basically resets for week 2 at the beginning of week 2 on that Monday. So you have to make sure that you time things so that you get all of your quizzes and discussions done by Sunday evening. So generally all of the coursework is, the lectures are filling up about 4 days, but you have the full 7 days to get the work done at your own pace. That's the fun part of an asynchronous class. So the most significant part of the class, the biggest part of the grade, are the 2 assignments. It's important for you to keep them as upbeat and engaged as possible. I have some examples of that available to you from previous semesters, what students did. The other aspect of that is this is an art class, so we want to show as much art. I'd say 80% of the images that you're showing in your presentation should be on screen as opposed to pages of text that you're just reading from. So try to keep that as engaged and upbeat as possible. The other part of that is in the second video, you have to end that with 2 questions. The question should be, as you were doing the research about that artist, what kind of questions did you have? What were you considering about the lens that you selected and how that artist is communicating that through the creative process. And really, that's the fun part of it, is having the ability to do that research and to see how another person, an artist, is interested in potentially a similar topic that you are. That's part of the presentation. That's going to end with, in that last week, presentations are posted, and other students are seeing your presentations, and there's the opportunity for them to respond to those 2 questions that are at the end of that Artist Lens presentation. So I'm looking forward to seeing your videos, visiting galleries, going to those spaces, and what your experiences are there. I give some detailed information in a rubric on what to, it's sort of a checklist as well, what kinds of things to look for, and how to go about it. The gallery should be a gallery listed on Artforum International. So just going to the local mall that happens to have a framing shop that has some art hanging up is not acceptable. It has to be a very well recognized international gallery or museum. I'm not expecting you to spend money to do this. Most galleries, all galleries for that matter in New York City, do not charge entrance. You just walk in. Keep in mind that most of them are closed on Sundays and Mondays. Plan for that as well. But museums might cost money. It is possible as a student that you will have a discount entry. So that's something just to be mindful of. I know a lot of you are not going to physically be in Stony Brook. You're going to be around the world because this is a summer session class, asynchronous. As long as, and that's why it's called Artforum International, there are going to be galleries and museums listed all around the world. But that will need to be part of the approval form, is that you need to find that. I would say use this first couple of days to do some research about what art you might want to see. It has to be an exhibition that takes place during this time frame of the summer session, not something that you saw 6 months ago, right? So yeah, I'm curious to see what happens. I can tell you from student responses in the past, this is one of their favorite parts of this class, is really being sent out there to investigate maybe different neighborhoods, go to see art exhibitions that they don't normally see, and taking the opportunity to learn about the artist and what they're producing, and what their creative process is. So I'm looking forward to seeing your visits to exhibitions, as well as hearing about your take on the artist lens in your presentations. And well, let's get started.